why is it so hard for us to just decide we're going to do something like break a habit or start a new habit, or really in some cases just even be in control?
Yeah. And you bring up that control and that choice and that free will. And to an extent, it does exist in our lives. And, you know, if you just look at the functioning of us as a human, there's so much that happens on an unconscious level that we're not in control of. And if you just look at everything that's happening with us right now, we're talking to each other. We're not thinking about how do I form these words. We're not thinking about I need to breathe, my heart needs to pump. We have all of these energy systems within us that are working in concert at such a meticulous level that's keeping us alive. Just that unconscious energy is incredible. And that's working through something that's divinely inspired, this universal consciousness we're all part of. And then also our brain. And, you know, our brain is almost like this, I like to think of it as an antenna. And that antenna has all of these senses connected to it. And whenever we perceive something, whenever we experience something, whenever we engage in self-talk, all of that information is coming into our consciousness through the brain. And there's this interplay between the brain and the mind. The brain is this tangible object, right, full of neurons and cells, and our mind is sort of boundless and eternal. Like where's your brain? Like you could point to it and you're like, where's your mind? Well, it's working through my brain, but it's working through everything. So there's a lot of awakening just inside of realizing that. But getting to your question just about why is it hard to break these habits that we have that form, it's because, you know, the brain relies on routines. And whenever we give ourselves a thought, whenever we experience something, we start to program deep neuron chains. These neuron chains start to form around these experiences. And, you know, for sometimes good and for sometimes bad, those neuron chains start firing up. And, you know, a good example is I drank really heavily for a long time in my life, and I don't anymore. And it was usually for celebration because I accomplished a ton and I wanted to party and I wanted to go out and have fun. I had neuron chains developed in my brain that whenever I accomplished something, they start lighting up, getting excited, time to drink, and there's a habit formation in there. Now, if you want to break that habit, you need to develop new, healthier neuron chains, new routines when you have a level of achievement. And to do so is hard because even though those neuron chains might fade as you develop new habits, they never go away. They're always there. So you always have to be conscious of the thoughts that you're having, the feelings that you're having, what you're sort of gravitating to doing at every given moment, because, you know, it's because of those routines that the brain can even function. The brain relies on them, even as a biocomputer, it relies on those in terms of habit formation. And to break those chains and create new ones is just an ongoing challenge that we face in so many aspects of our life.